So they're foolish builders building toward more wickedness. Okay. Even if they rear children, I will slay their cherished offspring. My God will reject them because they have not obeyed him. They will be wanderers from the nation, right? And how do you obey God? You obey God through me. We see that in Hosea, where he says he raised a prophet for them to lead them on his behalf. So to obey me is to obey God. And how do you know that? Well, what am I telling you to do and why? So remember that they're changing my voice. Obviously, no one is the expert but me. I'm the only one who's an expert. We've seen mental health fail. We've seen the churches. They don't know what they're talking about. They have never even experienced God's Spirit. They wouldn't know what to do with it, if they had. And they never have. And we can tell by how they're trying to persecute me here that they really don't know what they're doing. They're led by people who don't know what they're doing, and their offspring will not know what they're doing. I'm sure we can all agree this is fair, and it needs to be pointed out. We see how much they've been persecuting me and how immature they've been this whole time. So Hosea 10. Israel was a spreading vine. He brought forth fruit for himself. As his fruit increased, he built more altars. As his land prospered, he adorned his sacred stones. So they're talking about a time when, in the story, that the Jews were doing the right thing. Okay? Not, this nonsense we see going on now with them trying to fume me and poison me and trying to make it so I seem like a manic person or, what have you. And even if I was that, they're not the experts on life and what you should do if you have a problem. They're not the experts on mental health. They just drug and abuse people and conform them to the system. Okay? And this is similar to what's being described in Hosea 10 with their failure. Their heart is deceitful, right? They're lying. Pharmakeia means sorcery, illusions, lies, deception. Pharmaceuticals, pharmakeia. Therefore lawsuits spring up, and now they must bear their guilt. The Lord will demolish their altars and destroy their sacred stones. Then they will say, we have no king because we did not revere the Lord. But even if we had a king, what could he do for us? They'll say by their actions. Why? Because there's nothing they can do after my flesh dies. Even if I was born again, which is not going to happen, right? Okay. How could I help them? There's no way for them to be right with God. There's no way to walk in the way of righteousness along the path of justice and what you need to do God's work. So they're done. Hosea 10 is about them being finished with no way back. They make many promises. They take false oaths and make agreements. Therefore lawsuits spring up like poisonous weeds in a plowed field. The people who live in Samaria fear for the calf idol of Beth Aven. Its people will mourn over it, and so will its idolatrous priests, those who had rejoiced over its splendor. Because it is taken from them into exile. It will be carried to Assyria as a tribute for the great king. Ephraim will be disgraced. Israel will be ashamed of its foreign alliances. As we see the Jews and the Gentiles, they're ashamed of their alliances to this day. Okay? America and Israel, right? Russia and its allies, no matter who we're talking about, it's profoundly disgraceful that they refuse to do what's right instead of being corrupt. Okay, everyone knows governments are corrupt. That should be allowed on TikTok, and of course God allows it, obviously. But whether people who worship the devil allow it on their websites, that's a different story or something. Okay. Samaria's king will be destroyed, swept away like a twig on the surface of the waters. The high places of wickedness will be destroyed. It is the sin of Israel. Thorns and thistles will grow up and cover their altars. Then they will say to the mountains, cover us, and to the hills, fall on us. Okay, so they'll say to the mountains, cover us, right? To the false kings, to their, basically, when you look at, the mountains that were sacred to various people, right? There was a mountain, there's a king, there's rituals, and there's a deity or something that they're worshiping. And if they're worshiping the one true God, it's the one true God, right? Mount Zion, God, the idea of David in the story, okay, they're connected. So if you were to say David, it automatically points to his ritual processes. It points to God, it points to Mount Zion. So when they say to the to the mountains, cover us, they're saying to Baal, for example, and whatever mountains, sacred to him, to the king who's representing him at the time, what have you. Okay? And to the hells fall on us, right? And that also has to do with, various ritual activities that take place in the hills and so on and so forth, the heights and so on and so forth. Okay. So these people in this story, at this point, which is where we are in the timeline now, right? It's the end. They're saying to their corporations, to their leaders, to somehow make their lives better. But people are suffering everywhere. And the people who think that life isn't so bad are called batshit crazy, even if they're super rich. They're crazy. Okay? It's like they're on fire and they haven't noticed. So by their actions, they're saying to the mountains to cover them and to the hills fall on them. Since the days of Gibeah you have sinned, Israel, and there you have remained. Will not war again overtake the evildoers of Gibeah? So instead of manning up, instead of them being men who care about God, who care about their families, who act like a man, who are a man, who have discipline and martial art, they acted like complete sissies, folks. Sissies. When I please, I will punish them. Nations will be gathered against them to put them in bonds for their double sin. So nations are gathering. God's like, what are you sissies doing? So they gathers nations against them, but those nations are also not doing the right thing. And so they all fall together. That's what Revelation about. It's a beast that's merged together, right? The different kings, including the kings of Israel. One had a fatal wound on his head that appeared to have been healed. That's referring to Isaiah 1 as Israel. Ephraim is a trained heifer that loves to thresh, so I'll put a yoke on her fair neck. I will drive Ephraim, Judah must prowl, and Jacob must break up the ground. Are they saying they should magically fucking interfere with my videos? No. God is saying to all the Jews, the whites, the LGBT, the military, the police, you name it, who seek to interfere, he's saying to them, shut the fuck up and stop interfering. Okay, but God's not exactly throwing a fit. He's not them. He's not throwing a fit about it. But they're going to pay to the extreme, right? Their souls are going to cook, right? That's what it's saying. So righteous, well, listen. Ephraim is a trained heifer that loves to thresh, so I'll put a yoke on her fair neck. I will drive Ephraim, Judah must plow, and Jacob must break up the ground. Sow righteousness for yourselves. Reap the fruit of unfailing love and break up your unplowed ground, for it is time to seek the Lord until he comes and showers his righteousness on you. So at that time, Hosea is saying, hey, right now, because the end is coming, sow righteousness. They didn't do that. Seek the God. They didn't do that. But you have planted wickedness, you have reaped evil, and you have eaten the fruit of deception. Rape by deception, live in deception, marriages based on deception, people dating people they otherwise wouldn't, having sex with them, which is what rape by deception means, right? They've been deceived into bed because you have depended on your own strength and on your many warriors. It's like a bodybuilder with a thong on TV, or some, with all kinds of grease on his body. Look at my muscles, look at my muscles. Who cares about your muscles? You wasted your life lifting weights. You didn't put God first. It's one thing if you're strong and you obeyed God through me. But if you're there like a clown on TV flexing with fucking lotion on your butt, okay, and flexing your butt cheeks, you are fucking disgraced. I mean, what the hell, right? Who doesn't get that? Maybe some gay guy thinks it's cute, but people who understand the Bible don't respect it. People who understand being a man, okay, we'll say to be diplomatic, whether they're gay or not, but we all know what it is, okay? Don't respect it. The roar of battle will rise against your people, so that all your fortresses will be devastated as Shalman devastated Beth Arbel on the day of battle. When mothers were dashed to the ground with their children, so will happen to you, Bethel, because your wickedness is great. When that day dawns, the king of Israel will be completely destroyed. What is it talking about? It said, after my flesh is gone, the idea of a king of Israel, okay, will never, the possibility for a king to rule the world or to rule Israel or to actually be a valid king is gone. That's first and foremost what it means. Only then do we get some kind of sissy guy who's like, hey guys, I'm the king. Okay, him and his offspring are destroyed to the extreme. That's what it's saying. Their souls, there's some kind of less than Herod in the greatest story ever told movie, acting like some kind of weirdo kid, some kind of Pee Wee Herman or something. Okay. No shit, they're completely destroyed. But it's first and foremost getting at that the possibility, there's no redemption when that day dawns. We know that from the other Hosea scriptures where it says the sun represents God's judgment. He comes like the sun. He rises like the sun. Okay, judgments pass like the sun. Okay, when that day dawns, God's judgment is complete. They're sealed in hell, and then they're being marshaled to hell like the fucking worms they are. So there's the judgment, and then there's executing the judgment.